All right, so Be'ezrat Hashem, we'll do a little Dvar Torah in honor of Benny going to Israel and Irma. God bless you. It's a beautiful, not by coincidence, it said, Parashat Shlach, send my people.
That's right.
Here you are, going to Israel, Be'ezrat Hashem. It's no coincidence. This parasha, you guys go to Israel.
That's right. Yeah.
It says the Torah.
Beshalach.
Yeah. להוריד. ויהי בשלח פרעה את העם ולא נחם אלוהים דרך ארץ פלישתים. So the question says first, ויהי בשלח פרעה. Technically we have a problem here. Paro did not send the people of Israel. Hashem took them out.
Yes.
Right? But every time the Torah says Ha'am, it doesn't speak of the people of Israel. Pharaoh sent the Arab Rab with them. Ha'am is the Egyptian people, not the people of Israel. Whenever the Torah says Ha'am is the Egyptian. Whenever it says Ha'am Israel or Bnei Israel, is the people of Israel. Or when Hashem says Ami, my people,
Right.
is the people of Israel.
But Ha'am.
Ha'am is not the Hebrews, just so you know.
Okay.
And it says that Hashem lo nacham Elohim derech eretz Philistine. He did not guide them to go through the city, to the land of Philistine. You know, to leave Egypt from where they were at the what we call Goshen, which is the delta of Egypt of today.
Right.
It's from Alexandria to Port Said.
Yes.
It's the where the Nile pours into the Mediterranean. It takes literally 11 hours. If you go up the coast, when you get to Gaza, it's 11 hours.
Right. It's a short trip.
But Hashem did not want them to go this way.
Right.
No nacham. Nacham means to guide them through the right path of this path. Why? Why did Hashem want that? It says, derech eretz Plishtim ki karov hu. The Philistines are related to somebody. You know, the Philistine and Canaan and Egypt, they're all one family. They are the children of Ham. Ham was the son of Noah. Noah had 3 kids, right?
Yeah.
And 3 daughters, by the way. With each son, there was a daughter. Shem, Ham, and Yafet, right? Shem is... That's okay. Shem is the Jewish people, right? Shem, anti-Semite, anti-Shem. That's the Jewish people. Ham is the Arabs, the Muslims. And Yafet is the Christians. And it says that Hashem did not want them to go. Why? Because the Philistines are related to Egypt. Why the Torah mentions specifically this Philistine now? It's not Palestine, by the way.
They're in Gaza.
Yes, there's actually 5 cities that belongs to them, not ours. Even the Torah says Gaza is not yours. You know, when Menachem Begin signed the deal and the accord agreement with Egypt in 1976, Sadat says, here, take Gaza.
He says no.
Menachem says, no.
It's not ours.
It's not ours. But that's the only deal breaker. Even Sadat says, we're not taking Gaza. Give me the desert, don't give me Gaza.
Was that any of the reasoning when Sharon gave Gaza back?
Yeah, but Sharon gave the Jewish Gaza, not the real Gaza. That's a big difference.
There's 2 parts of Gaza.
Yeah, you know, when Sharon did that, many people don't know. Sharon was a hero of Israel. It was in our home.
Right.
I actually, when I was a kid, my mother started the FIDF of Israel. Friends of IDF, you heard of it?
Yes.
Yeah.
My mother was one of the founding members. And Sharon came to it because she used to feed a lot of soldiers in the war. And he actually, many people don't know, hero of heroes, right? But then something changed. He fought all his life for Israel. Then he gave Gush Katif,
Yeah.
right? You know, the rabbis of Israel, so you're not allowed to give an inch of Israel.
Oh, my brother.
Rabbi Ovadia Yosef said, was fighting with him for months and years not to do it. And when he finally did it, Rabbi Ovadia says, you may sleep and not die. And he went to coma for 8 years.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to give lands of Israel. So now why Hashem says, don't go through the Philistine?
Yeah.
Lama, the Torah says, why? Peni nachem birota milchama, they'll see a war. First, there's no war. What kind of war? So, something amazing happened. 20 years before the people of Israel left Egypt, this is now 2,448. The people of Israel have been there for 210 years. Right? Remember, Yosef had 2 children.
Yeah,
Ephraim and Menashe, right? Ephraim is considered the more blessed one.
Yes.
The tribe of Ephraim, Yosef was the richest man in the world, right? All the wealth of Egypt came to because of Yosef. when the Torah says, Pakod ifkod otchem, Hashem will remember you, Yosef even promised, he says, listen, Hashem will remember you and take you out. Says the Baal HaTurim HaKadosh, it says, Pakod in Gematria is 180.
Here we go.
And he said, no, it's true. We'll see in a second how
I love
amazing
this
it is.
gematria, yeah.
You know, the Torah is all codes.
I know.
Right?
You just have to see it.
Every person, every event, every creation is in the Torah from any person in the world. Every event. It's just you have to rearrange and do a lot of, David HaMelech says in the book of Tehillim, that Hashem, when he wrote the Torah, Mekapetz al harim vemedaleg al gevaot. You can do skips in the Torah. Right? Hashem says they're going to see a war. So 180 years into the slavery, 30,000 of the tribe of Ephraim went out of Egypt to go buy the land of Israel. They were very rich. Went through the Philistines. But when they came there, the Philistines killed all of them and left them like this in the desert, not even buried them. You heard of Yechezkel, the prophet, Ezekiel?
Yeah.
Ezekiel, the prophet, was the son of Jeremiah. He has a famous book, Yechezkel, right? We read, it's part of our 24 books of the Torah in the Tanakh. Yechezkel, Hashem says to him, do you believe in Tchiyat HaMetim? Do you believe that I can resurrect the dead? Yechezkel says, if you say so. Hashem took him from Tel Aviv. The first Tel Aviv was not in Israel. It was in Bavel.
Yeah.
The first Tel Aviv. Yeah. When Yechezkel was living in Tel Aviv, in Bavel. Yes. Yeah. The first Tel Aviv in the Torah is in the Tanakh, not in Israel. It's in Egypt. It's in Iraq of today. Babylonia, it was Tel Aviv. The Torah says in chapter 37, the book of Yechezkel, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu took him from Bavel in Tel Aviv and brought him to this place here in Gaza. And he says, look, you see this 30,000 dead people? They were all bones. Chazon ha'atzamot veshot. This is the dry bone prophecy. And Hashem did resurrection there. They all walked. Hashem did not want them to see 30,000 Hebrews from Ephraim dead. And they will go back and say, well, we don't want to die in the desert. Hence, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, let's give them a detour. Some say Moshe Rabbeinu lost a pen, he could not find it, right, for 40 years. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I don't want them to see this. Because, after coming out of Egypt for 210 years of slavery, the last thing you want to see is a bunch of dead Jews.
Right.
Or Hebrews that were not Jewish yet. The first Jewish person was in Matan Torah. When they received the Torah, we became Jewish. Until now, we were Hebrews. We had all the mitzvot. We had many mitzvot before we received the written Torah. There was a lot of the oral Torah. 248 mitzvot already exist in the world. Right? Abraham, he knew how to do Brit Milah, Kashrut, Noach, how to bring kosher animals, marriage, Nisu'in, Kiddushin, a whole bunch of stuff. It says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu here says, why? V'chamushim alu b'nei Yisrael me'eretz Mitzrayim. Chamushim means armed. Actually, it also means, the Midrash says, and it's also in the Gemara, only 20% came out.
1/5.
1/5. Chamushim means 20%, 1/5. There were 15 million Hebrew. In the plague of darkness, 12 million were died by the angels and buried in the first 3 days of darkness. Only 20%. It's very interesting. The Chafetz Chaim HaKadosh, you heard of the Chafetz Chaim?
Yeah.
He was the head rabbi of Europe in the early 1900s. In 1924, Rav Israel HaKohen, his name, he gathered all the rabbis of Europe, and he said to them, leave, the Holocaust is coming, we have to leave. Do you know how many people left Europe?
20%.
19,000. The rest, unfortunately, suffered the Holocaust. He warned them, he says, Holocaust is coming.
It wasn't even 20%.
Yeah.
Right? Not even 20%. What is this 20%? Why Chamushim? When Yaakov Avinu had the prophecy of the ladder, right, in Har Moriah, Hashem promised him in this dream everything. That was the first time Hashem was revealed to Jacob. But Jacob was not certain, so he woke up and he started talking and making a vow with Hashem. He said, Hashem, if you guard me, if you take care of me, you take me to the house of Lavan, bring me back home, give me clothes, give me food, I'll give you 20%. Right? The Torah says, I'll give you 10 and 10. What Yaakov was saying says the Zohar Kadosh, the Kabbalah says something amazing. Yaakov says, I'm guaranteed 20% of my children of Israel will be religious. Guaranteed. And those are the only 20% that came out of Egypt. They believed in Hashem. 80% did not want to get out. They said, why will you leave America? We have everything we need. Pharaoh is done. The military of Egypt is gone. We are leaving Goshen. None of the plague happened in Goshen.
Right.
So what do we have to leave? They didn't want to leave. In the first 3 days of darkness, 80% of the Hebrews, angels came out and took their neshama and buried them. Only 3 million came out. Now many people say, what do you mean 3 million? There was 603,550.
Yeah, man.
Those are the soldiers, only from
it's
20
the younger, the
to 60.
children.
Not the younger, not the women, not the elderly, not...
Close.
In a sense, 3 million coming out.
Yeah.
HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, Beshalach is bet chalash. You know, the word Beshalach is 2 weaknesses. Bet is 2 in Gematria. Chalash, right? Shalach, rearrange the letter, is chalash. There were twice there'll be in this parasha, right? With the water, there'll be a problem. And with the water with Yam Suf, there'll be a problem, right? When they come out of Egypt, of course, you said, Chamushim Yatzu, they actually also were armed with the bones of Yosef. You know, Moshe Rabbeinu was the only one to attend to the bones of Yosef.
Sarah knew where it was.
Yeah. But in a sense, you'll think that, you know, the children of Yosef, they have now hundreds and some thousands people from Ephraim and Menashe. They should really do it.
Right.
Why Moshe had to go? He said they were so busy stealing from Egypt, right? Not stealing, but receiving everything they did not get paid for 210 years.
They're too busy.
They were too busy. Yeah, they were taking things out, you know.
They were too
Hashem says, go, you know, please go. He begs them to go. Go get everything you want from the Egyptian. They'll give it to you. Not just give it to you, they'll give it to you with kindness.
Right.
Well, how is it possible? So imagine I'm your slave,
They
and
were
I come to you and
afraid.
say, listen, give me your Rolex and give me this. I'm just going to go, I'll bring it back. You're like, get out of here. Now, the people of Israel, Hashem says, men goes to men and women to women. Don't mix, because, you know, they were all mixed already. He says, don't, because they can probably, you know, make half of you disappear, like what happened with Pinchas, right? With Balak and Bilam. It says that when they came to the Egyptian, they said, give me your gold and jewelry and diamonds and clothes and everything. They will like you and they'll give it to you. Question is asked how. So it says something amazing. The Ben Ish Chai HaKadosh, you know, is a neshama of neshamot. You know, many rabbanim that we have. In every generation, we have 2 Mashiachim. Every generation has Mashiach. What the rabbi was saying, Rabbi Mendel, today, if we don't deserve to reveal Mashiach, as if like we destroyed the temple in our time. That's what the Gemara says. The people of Israel went to everybody and asked. And the Egyptian says, we don't have it. And the people of Israel says, I want you to know, we know the darkness that we just passed, we saw everything. We had light. We saw everything that you have.
You know where you keep your.
But we didn't take it. If we wanted to take, we'd take it. No, you cannot see me stealing from you. It was darkness. The Egyptian says, wow, you know where all the stuff and you did not steal it? So they say, okay, here, you can have it. Because why? Because technically you're supposed to come back in 3 days. So let us borrow it. We're going to go just do a sacrifice for 3 days and come back. That's what Moshe keeps saying. That's not what Hashem told him. Hashem says, take them out. Nothing to do with 3 days. He says, I will use the same coin with them. They lied to us, we lied to them. And really, the people of Israel meant with unbelievable amount. They said 1/3 of the wealth of the world came out with them. Now, Moshe Rabbeinu, on Yetziat Mitzrayim, is crying, looking. By the way, they say he started looking from the 10th of Yud Ben Nisan until the 15th, the night of the Yetziat Mitzrayim, could not find the bones. On 15th, the Serach Bat Asher, right? Serach was one of the 10 people that went to the heaven alive.
Yeah.
She's the one that broke down the news to Yaakov by singing that Yosef is alive, because Yaakov had a heart attack after 22 years. And Yaakov blessed her, said, your lips may never die. And she went to the heaven alive. And she sang to Moshe, and she said, he's buried in the Nile.
Right.
You know, the Egyptian took the body of Yosef. Yosef died the youngest from all the brothers.
Yeah. One
And
time.
they buried him with 500 kilos of a casket of metal in the middle of the Nile. And Sarah says, is buried inside, because whenever Yosef came, the water rose to him. So they wanted the Nile to be blessed by Yosef's bones. And Moshe took a gold task, and wrote the name Hashem HaMeforash, the secret name of God. And he wrote on the back of it the blessing that Yaakov, Ale Shor Ale, rise, ox rise, and he threw it into the Nile. And the casket rose. And Yosef took the bones of Yosef. Remember, they just had Korban Pesach, right? They sacrificed the Taleh. Taleh is the sign of Nisan, right? This is the zodiac that Yaakov gave to Nisan, right? The goat. Moshe Rabbeinu takes the skin of this... Shalom.
Thank you. Toda.
We will miss you here.
See you in July.
Amen.
Be'ezrat Hashem.
Bezrat Hashem.
We'll see you in Israel. Mashiach will be here before. It says that Moshe Rabbeinu took the bones and put them into one of the Korban Pesach skin. He wrapped it up and carried it with him. Hashem says to him, Chayecha, I promise you, because of what you've done, you'll be richer than all of them together. When Moshe broke the first set of the Luchot, Hashem says, go ahead and bring another set. Moshe says, where can I bring what you showed me in the heavens? We're on earth here. He says, you move your tent. After the golden calf scene, Moshe moved the tent
Outside.
2,000 amot. That's where the Eruv come. And he placed it where? On the biggest diamond in the world, called Sapir. Hashem says, it's underneath your sand, just go ahead and dig. Pesol lecha. Make what you need for our Torah. The rest is yours. It's the most expensive diamond in the world. The psolet, the remainder will be yours. Because you dealt with bringing Yosef. And I'll finish with that. We have a thing called second Pesach. Pesach Sheni, right?
Yes.
When is that?
A month, 30 days.
Exactly
later.
a month later. The 14th of Iyar.
Yeah.
Why? Because Moshe and the tribe of Levi carried the bones and they were tameh. You're not allowed to have Pesach if you're tameh.
They had to wait.
So Hashem says, give them the second Pesach. So Be'ezrat Hashem, our redemption will be soon. And we even beat Benny. When we'll come to them, Mashiach will go together.
Amen.
Atzlacha Be'ezrat Hashem.
Amen.
Thank you.
Forget it.
Brochim to you.
You have 6 extra bedrooms, don't you?